Welcome back to Owl003. Today I'm talking about um, the variables of choosing instruction and especially the financial aspect of it, which isn't always kind of talked about. So here's the considerations I hope you take in. A lot of rope viewers these days are putting these huge price tags on their instruction, and they get it from the old guard, a lot of them. Don't buy into that. I had scholarships to take some of the most expensive classes out there, and let me tell you, it's not worth the money. So the things that I would be considering, for one, is you have a lot of instructors nowadays. I mean, they're all just trying to make it a buck, okay? The ones that are putting price tags in thousands upon thousands of dollars, that's a kind of a scam. I would stay away from that if I were you. Problem is, people don't really know better until after they've taken classes, after they've gained some knowledge. So, things that people offer, like if I were to do it again, first off, free is good. Free doesn't necessarily mean bad by any means. I mean, SRV, Courtney's put out SRV instruction from start to finish, which is available on YouTube and stuff like that, which is, as a method, I think is really great. If you're like curious, that's the direction I would go. Because to me, the ultimate value in instruction beyond the base methodology is, access to a mentor. Because you're going to be growing, and you'll have questions, and you'll have blocks, stumbling blocks kind of thing, and you want to have advice how to get past them. So having a mentor that you have access to, I think holds great value. Okay, so if you go in the direction of an online class, which isn't a bad option either, there's some very reasonably priced classes. Okay, $200-$300, $400 or something. Over an extended period of time, they have resources, online resources, which is another valuable thing. If they have a website set up where you can go, Lynn has a nice website set up for that, where you can go. His classes are very reasonable online. He's got, targets and practice start, and he meets up. I've sat in on one of his classes, one or two of his classes. He runs a nice program there. Thing with like the system, like with Paul that I went through, I had a DVD that he had out, but it only goes through 1 through. It's a good DVD, but it only goes through 1 through 3, stage 1 through 3, and then the rest of the method you're kind of just left without, so you're kind of forced to either go through this really expensive class or, just do a different system. Because another important thing is you want to learn a remote viewing methodology from start to finish. Okay. You don't want to learn like a few stages of one and then go to something else. So the value to me, if you are going the route of getting instruction by someone, is accessibility to a mentor. Okay, so if you're going to go online and then you have your class of 5 or 6 or 10, the more, these really full classes, these really big classes, I wouldn't have much interest. If you're going to go that route, I personally would just go to a free instruction. Beyond SRV, Ed has put out, there's a bunch of stuff you can find on like Amazon and TRV and stuff, which it's not my favorite methodology kind of thing. I think it's, of the competing ones, it's one of my lesser ones, I would say. But at the end, it's going to come down to you. There's other methods out there. Vivanco's got stuff. Birdie, Prudence Calabrese, has got some new classes. If I were to start again, that's probably where I would go. Excuse me. But it's important to like methods with proven track records. Okay, so like say the flow method. I've never really seen anybody I'm impressed with out of that methodology, including the creator. So I wouldn't invest much into that. I've seen students out of that methodology. I'm not impressed at all. So that's another thing to consider. Um, because at the end of the day, these people just want your money, man. So something that's reasonable. An online option is not a bad option, but things to consider is definitely something within your budget. Access to a mentor, and when you go to classes that are in the thousands, that's a scam, guys. Um, Had I taken an online class or whatever the case was, if I went down a different path, I'd still find myself where I'm at as far as my ability. I'd still be competing with the best that's out there. Um, so don't get wrapped up in that. There's kind of like like if you want to have a certificate under this person's name, like where you're teaching what they teach, if that's like a really big concern for you, that's really all that offers. Each group will have they all work independent. So what I'm saying is, like, so you go to Paul, he may have his contacts for projects here and there. Ed May has his projects. You know, Lynn has his projects. So if you're like looking to do operational work, they all have their projects. They don't. Nobody has a like a um, what do they call that? Like a monopoly on remote viewing projects. Okay. Um, and again, if you're getting into this to money, here's really your options. you can you get tapped for stuff on occasion if you're really good. I get tapped for jobs that I can't talk about on occasion. You can you can get like sell gimmicks and bullshit like like some of these big teams, or you can be an instructor. Those are like the big things. As fun as monetarily, they people kind of they really make it out to be more than it is with that. Like, there's ways I could make money to do this, like some of these other folks, and I just wouldn't stoop to that level personally. I don't need to sell you a Ponzi scheme, a narrative, in order to make a dollar. I just don't need to get that low. So, again, something that's well within your budget, um, and it's going to come down to the individual as far as what you really want. If you really want to be like good at this, like really good at this, I wouldn't get wrapped up in any of the BS with the gurus and the methodology, and it's just going to waste time. If you're about being just a tool for these gurus, then that's what's going to happen. If you're going to get into this, get into the politics of remote viewing, it's just not worth the effort. So, like I said, plenty of solid methods out there. I wouldn't go out there if it, like I said, if a person spends a few $100s, or they have the ability to compete with $1,000 methodologies too. Absolutely, they could. I've people have taken the classes I've taken that are garbage. They're just shit. Because it comes down to you at the end. If you just take the class and get straight, I certificate, but you don't go home and practice and build this relationship between your subconscious and your conscious mind, you're just another canvas, another thing on the page, whatever you want to call it. It's just nothing special. The specialness comes down to you, not the methodology. But personally, I would focus on. Now, there's other new instructors out there too that are starting stuff and these crazy new methods, but a lot of them don't have any. They're not like they have no work that's public to really. They're just trying to come up with their own bullshit and make some money. Um, it's not impressive. I call them armchair remote viewers. If you go to like Discord, they're in abundance. They don't do anything. They just talk crap about other remote viewers. So, um, there's instructors out there who have valid work. Like you look it up, see what they've done, see what they have. If most of the person that you're going to be learning from is all commercials and just talk, there's not a lot of value there. So, like I said, um, if you can get a reasonably priced CRV method, that's a good option. If you can get something that's established by someone, like, and you want to try something new, you have like Burry's an option. Um, TRV is free, and again, you can learn multiple modalities. And what'll happen too is, I have friends that have learned multiple modalities, and they tend to go back to what they first started with anyway. A lot of times, so. Like I said, a lot of options out there. There's no reason to go out and spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. If you do that, you're kind of getting sucked into a scam, in my opinion. You don't need that to compete by any means. And like I said, CRV, if you can get that reasonably priced, if you can get, like I said, SRV is free, TRV is free. And like I said, I would stay away from the flow method because it's probably out the door ridiculous expensive, and I'm not impressed by anybody using it. And if you have something like super impressive by that methodology, please send it to me because I haven't seen it. I've worked with some people that on like very small projects and stuff, it's just like, ugh, I am not impressed. So that's just my thoughts on that. I have remote viewers now that have taken different methodologies and they've loosened it up and they use whatever's more comfortable to them, and it works fine. That takes time though. If you want to be able to do that, you really need to have a firm foundation to start loosening things up. So that's just my quick note on that. If there's a new instructor out there that's trying to sell you something that's you feel it's reasonable and you're impressed by their work, I'd be willing to give them a chance. If they have work they're willing to show you to prove that their method has validity, then because at the end, go to what resonates to you, but don't get wrapped up in spending an arm and a leg. That's a scam. That is absolutely 100% a scam. Okay? I mean, people's time is worth the value and stuff like that, but when you get into these outrageous numbers, most of the people who have gotten trained for free, who are trying to take all your money, I wouldn't get wrapped up into it. But, all right, guys, that's really all I have to say about it. I have a mystery project coming up next for you. I'll be digging into. Hopefully I'll have that out to you in about a week. And sorry it's been so long. I'm doing repairs around here. The hurricane came through and did some damage. That Hurricane Helene and the one that came after it had a double whammy. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share the channel. I always enjoy being here with you. If you like the content and you want to support it, you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. And it's in the hyperlink. And we'll catch you next time on All 003. Bye, guys.